Okay.
Ready, set, go!
That's fun. All right, guys, we're back and in a new location. It is super exciting. Guys, we've been here for about a week and a half, and I finally feel like I can pick up the camera and maybe film a little something. So we bought a fixer-upper, and we've been doing nothing but fixing up. Scott went back to work this week, so this is Wednesday. He's been working this week, and I have been dealing with a sick child. The youngest, Mila, got a little fever virus, and so she's been down with that, which means I'm fully consumed with taking care of her and getting 0 projects done. But that's okay. The projects will always be there. It's just I'm wanting to get them done so that we can get to the outside and start working on outside projects, because that's why we moved out here, right? So we can start a homestead. Yeah, but there's so much to do on the inside. We know that if we don't fix it up in there first, we will not get out here, or we won't go back in there and get it done after we start working on the outside, because we want to do this out here. So it's kind of a motivation. At least that's what Scott is telling me, because I'm like, come on, I want my chickens, and he said finish painting first. So I'll have to give you guys a little tour of that, do like some before and after type pictures. It's just so much work, but we're having fun out here, and I thought I would show you a little bit around where I'm going to put our potted plants that we brought from our old house in town and what we're going to do with those. Alright, first up, this is our little porch, covered porch. We actually have 2 sides of this house. This is the in-law side, which we're making into a bedroom for the boys and a game room. But this has a cute little porch and a little garden area outside of this porch, which we are going to remove all of these rocks. You can see it's not too deep, maybe like 3 inches deep, and then there's some soil, like a liner underneath it, and then soil. But this soil, I use that very loosely. It's like shell and clay. So we will be doing a lot of amending, adding soil. I need to go call and get a load of soil delivered. We are actually going to put our garden, all of our stuff that we have brought from our old house, in here this year. This will be flowers and probably maybe some fruits and stuff vegetables, next year. But this year, it's just going to be our only garden bed, since we're moving in the middle of late spring. So we're walking over here. We have our plants that we brought from our old house, and they are super sad, and they're tiny pots, so we need to get this remedied quickly. They're still hanging on. We're dealing with some aphids. I don't know if it will show on the camera, but we've been dealing with some aphids. I'm spraying stuff on it. I bought also some neem oil. I just sprayed that on yesterday, so we'll see how that does. The zinnias over here are actually starting to bloom in their little tiny pots. Not good, so I need to get those planted. This stuff that I put in bigger pots are doing really well. This is lettuce. Peppers are doing really well. Just need to get them planted. Over here is the stuff that I brought that are in larger pots from home, and they're doing great. There's actually tomatoes, there's flowers here on some of them, and some already have tomatoes on them. So exciting. So there's a lot going on out here on the patio.
I remember last year where we would pick these ones for taco night.
Yep, for taco night we'd pick tomatoes. Pretty soon you'll be able to do that. So I actually don't know what is in a lot of these pots out here, which type of tomatoes, because the little name tag things, like most of them wore off. So this one, it's got to be one of the bigger ones. It doesn't look like a cherry tomato. But I got a pepper plant I just put out here, and a couple habanada pepper plants. They're just like stunted in growth, so I don't know if they're going to do anything, but we'll see if they decide to grow.
Look, that cloud looks like take this one anyway.
Do you see the horses, Brooklyn?
Mm-hmm.
There's horses over there. So fun that we have horses right out our back porch or deck. So we'll see them. They come all the way up to the fence and then all along the back of our property line.
Whoa.
You see the horses? See the horsies? I think she's going after yellow, Corey. So Mila has been not feeling great. Her cheeks still show like a little rosiness, but she hasn't had a fever today, so she's doing better. But yeah, moving in, fixer-upper, and then getting a kid that is not feeling great is hard. It's been really hard. We're making it, but it's been extra stress on top of everything else. So yeah, our house is a disaster zone right now. I don't think there's one project that's complete. Everything is like part way done, which means it's gonna be amazing. Your rooms are kind of done. They're not even unpacked.
That's because we can't pack everything until the house is fixed up.
I know. So the kids' rooms are the most done out of everywhere. We've painted them first. They have moved, their beds are set up, but all their things are still in boxes in the extra game room side. So oh my word, it's just so much. I don't want to pull everything out and like set things up until the walls are painted. We will be replacing flooring, but that's going to come a little bit later. We just need to get the walls brighter. Everything was like dark and just dungeony. One thing we have been super surprised and impressed with is the neighbors out here are so nice and so generous. When we were moving in, we had 2 neighbors bring us like goodies. What's wrong? What? Where do you want to go? Show me. Oh, still not feeling yourself. But we have been super surprised with the neighbors. It has been a refreshing change from what we are used to, but everybody just stops by and has been introducing themselves, saying hi to us. We've had neighbors bring us stuff. Oh, did you want this? All right, I got her in the little car, so I think she'll be happy. So we're gonna go on a little walk. So our neighbors have been super generous and just so kind. We're not used to that being in the suburbs. People are okay, but kind. But like these neighbors like go out of their way to make you feel welcome, and it's so cool. And then the little town that we live by is just a small little town, and it totally has that small town America feel. Love it. We absolutely are loving it. And then we're about 30 minutes from a bigger town, which is great because you still are semi-close to get stuff, yeah, supplies, but you're not like right there. And there is a different feel when you go into 30 minutes into Conway versus out here where we live. So love it so much. The one thing about our property that we bought is it's been filled with trash. What, horsefly? Uh-oh. So one thing with our property is it's been filled with trash. There's one big giant trash pile here, furniture and whatnot, but everywhere you look is overgrown stuff and trash. So we've been spending time every day trying to gather up trash and get it out to our big pile. We are gonna have to pay. Oh, it's so bright. Let me get over here where it's not so bright. Come here, Bri. Come here, Ryla. She got out of the car.
There's rows.
Come on. Alright, so we're going to pay somebody to come and take care of the trash. It's different here out in the county than it is in town. We can't just call and have large items picked up. So you either like haul them to the dump yourself or pay someone to come pick them up, or get a big dumpster. So we're trying to like figure out what option we want to do. We're leaning on the side of just paying like independent service to come out and pick up a trailer load of stuff. Since we don't have a trailer, we can't really haul it to the dump ourselves. So that's what we're kind of thinking we're going to end up doing. But we've replaced toilets, there's old water heater, old broken refrigerator, broken stove. So we have like tons of big things, furniture from the previous owner, tons and tons of just junk that they left, like small things they left behind. House and the garage and the backyard area over here, our backyard area was just filled with stuff. Like we're not like junky type people, like keeping stuff, like piles of stuff around. And so for us to like walk into that, we were like, immediately we gotta get it clean. And Scott's big thing is like, your yard is the first impression of your home, like the inside of your house, and like how it represents you as a person. So if your yard is a mess, then most likely your rest of your house and your life is probably a mess too. I don't know how true that is, but that's what he always goes by. So to go along with the keeping the yard kept and everything, this yard was super overgrown and you couldn't even walk through the grass because it was so tall. And so Scott went over on this like marketplace, Facebook marketplace, and bought a used lawnmower, just a riding lawnmower that was not, it's like on the smaller side. So we tried to make this thing work, and unbeknownst to us, the owner was a little deceitful in its description of this lawnmower, and so something is majorly wrong with it. We're gonna have to sell it for just like someone else to fix up, but we're buying a new lawnmower, zero turn. It's bigger, fancier, and gonna be able to do this property a lot better. But however, in the meantime, our neighbors are so kind, and 2 different neighbors came over and mowed different sections of our property. It like totally blew us away that they would actually do that. Did not even cross our mind to ask. Of course, I have the trash pile behind me. Didn't even cross our minds for ask anybody, or that anybody would come over and be that nice and generous and mow our acreage. So we have 5 acres here. It's not some small task. So yeah, totally surprised us by their generosity and the neighborly, like taking care of each other type community. It's so refreshing and so exciting to be a part of. That's one of the things why we wanted to move out to the country, was to get that community. And everybody that we have met here has been so nice, and we've told them, like, as we move in, we're like, we're here, and if you guys ever need anything, we are here, so don't forget that we will help you out. And so we want to extend that back to people, just like they're extending it to us as we move in. Super fun.